Married to medicine, baby. We gonna pray because this camera is cameraing, and we're gonna pray that this thing do not fall off because it's the worst thing. Having to do videos over and over again, child. It's draining. But anyway, y'all, Married to Medicine, child. The girls are showing out. Sweet tea is, child. She busting loose, and the tea is spilling out everywhere. Let's go, child. Sweet tea. What we gonna talk about first, y'all? Okay, let's get the small stuff out the way first. Um, we love Dr. Simone and Cecil and their relationship, and adorable kids. All of them have great kids, and all their kids are privileged, unlike them when they were growing up, and probably their parents before them, etc. So these kids these days, in particular privileged kids, they have a certain, um, I guess, mindset, a little bit of entitlement at times. Um, you know, Thinking that the world owes them something. It's just one of those situations with Simone's and Dr. Cecil's sons. They're thinking they can just, do their thing in college, have a little fun, play around a little bit, and they're gonna always have their parents to fall back on. Um, so he's more lenient with the boys than Simone. And which is usually like that when it comes to couples, parents, whatever. It's always one. Kids know who they can kind of get over on versus the other parent. Um, so yeah, Simone is not having it. She's not having the foolishness. She's not having them just playing in college. She's not having them just living with her and stuff constantly, and then not trying to help out with anything. And I don't blame her. But I think the boys are going to be fine. Eventually they're young. They're just trying to figure life out and trying to find it out. Hell, some of us, it takes a little longer than others, and that's completely fine. I was definitely, um, and there's so much in life I still haven't experienced, even me being 34. And that's due to many different things, but you never stop learning. Um, but hopefully they just eventually understand that they work their tail off, their parents, to get what they have, and eventually at some point you have to put in the work in some kind of way. Eventually you got to get some kind of structure and hone in on one thing and figure out what you want to do. So hopefully that happens, child. Alora, Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon's daughter. She's so cute. She looks just like Heavenly. They want Alora to stay in a school near them, um, because she's the only girl, and she is a girl, and they don't want anything to happen to her. And it's a lot of risks with going out of town and going to college in town. You can get caught up and all kinds of crazy stuff that can happen. But with that said, things can happen anywhere at any time. They even brought up the weather at one point, talking about you got to think about the wind and all this stuff. And I'm just like, girl. Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon both went to colleges not in their hometown. So, you know, it's a tough battle. It's a tough situation. Whose side am I on in this situation? Dr. Heavenly and Damon, or Alora? Um, I don't know. I definitely see Alora's standpoint on it. But eventually, you do have to get out and explore life for your own as an adult, male or female. Um, but I think since this is her first college experience, since this is her first time like leaving home and stuff, I do think it's better if she stays near her parents. I do. Like, give it just a little while to see how you like it. But if you really just don't like it, then go out of state and do your thing. That's what I say. Just to step your toe in, because colleges are different, but it's mostly the same. And so at least if you're not sure about it, and you may change your major or anything, just in case, you want to change or whatever, it's better to do that with a college in town where you can get assistance, get help from your family versus being somewhere way out in Alaska or wherever. So that's my little childless single homosexual advice. How about that? Okay, so what else is going on? Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone met up. Did I already talk about that? I don't think I did. They didn't talk about anything really, just medical stuff and STDs, etc. Let me see. Dr. Heavenly and Sweet Tea met up. Letitia met up to talk. Letitia has said that there's a lot of things about Dr. G that Quad was probably right about. They say that allegedly the man is controlling. It's his way or the highway. I'm the man. You do what I say. I'm paying all the bills. I'm taking care of you. You shut up and do what I say, woman. And that's what Dr. G gives. And that's what a lot of men give. So she's just kind of, and then she's planning this whole wedding by herself. He ain't help with a thing. And she's tired and she's overwhelmed. But I mean, Tisha, you hit that man up in his DM. You pursued him. He picked you. And this is what comes with him. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Dr. G, what's crazy to me is Dr. G is even bringing up things that Letitia is doing and saying, oh, Quad used to do the same thing. Why are you even bringing up Quad in your new relationship? See, Dr. G, you're messy too. And it also goes to show that you're still hurt and probably still in love with Quad. And it's just so weird to me to be in a relationship with somebody and to think that you want them to stay the same person they was when you met them. That's not realistic. That's not life. Everybody changes. Everybody adapts. Everybody becomes new people as they age, as life goes on. And to think that you want somebody to just stay in the same place, it's weird. I don't know. But that's what happens when you marry somebody 23 years older than you. I mean, eventually he's going to be your daddy. Right? He's even older, Dr. G. I think he's older than Letitia's parents. So, I mean, girl, what do you expect? Another father. That's what you got, girl. So, anyway, you ain't gonna tell me what to do. I'm your wife. So, yeah. Okay, what else happened? So Toya, Dr. Eugene and the boys, they met up to talk about SEX. Take a deep breath and think before you let it go. They talked about that and asked different questions. The boys, they're adorable. One looks like Toya. The little one looks like Toya. The one that's a little smaller and the more heavy set one looks like Eugene in the face. And they're good boys and stuff. And he's trying to bond with his kids and just talk about things that should be discussed in the home. We come from, at least I come from a generation where my mom, she didn't talk to me about the SEX, She was just like, they'll teach you that in school. I screamed. Lo and behold, already. But anyway, y'all, this is a Christian channel. I don't do that stuff. We don't come from that. Most parents, they shun away from talking about that because it's weird and uncomfortable and you don't want to think of your child as doing that. But that's just reality of life. They're going to get grown one day and I mean, your parents thought the same thing about you, So, I mean, whatever. But anyway, it's good to have these kind of conversations and to have a close relationship with your child that they are not afraid to talk to you about certain stuff. So, even if the kids are uncomfortable, eventually they'll come around and talk to their parents. Okay, so Phaedra and Toya, they're having this Pamper Day party for Letitia, like a bachelorette party. Meanwhile, the guys are planning a bachelorette party for a bachelor party for Dr. G. Child, when I tell you Dr. G turned all the way up, when I tell you Dr. G was acting a fool, if I pull my pants down, I ain't pulling them back up. Dr. G was turned. I said, Lord, had all these big booty girls everywhere, all around. Child, Cecil's back in town from being, what was he at, in Dominican Republic? You think I would let Cecil go anywhere, knowing his track record? But I mean, it is what it is. If Dr. Jackie's fine with it, then hey. But you couldn't pay me to trust that man. But hey, love is love. And sometimes love is blind, and it will take over your mind. Shouts out to Eve and Faith Evans. But yeah, so Cecil and all them back, and it's just booty rocking everywhere, but College Park, but Sparks, and it was crazy. It was crazy. All the guys was kind of sitting back watching Dr. G because he was acting a fool. But it's his time to shine, and whatever. He's getting remarried again, so I get it. I understand. But he better not. Letitia better not do half the stuff that he do, of course. But he's the man, and he takes care of most of the bills. And you shut up and do what I tell you to do. It's just that whole thing. So meanwhile, we get over there to the ladies. Everybody dressed in lingerie. They had these guys massaging them. Most of them guys look so familiar. I see them all on Twitter and OnlyFans. The little bitty one, I done seen him somewhere. I feel like I know him. The little one, I know him from somewhere. His face, either Snapchat or something. But anyway, they don't even know that half of these guys be into the girls with beards, and they don't even just be rubbing on them, child. They don't even care, see. But anyway, it's fine. Love is love. But y'all on the OnlyFans, child. So anyway, let me see. So, they're having a good time talking. At one point, Sweet Tea's a wedding planner called and said because of the certain changes and because of the things that have happened, the different changing the different venues and all that kind of stuff, now they are wanting at least 13 or 14,000 just to accommodate all the new stuff. And it was just like, well, what's going on? We ain't got it. Her sister kind of snatched the phone out of her hand. In my mind, she took the phone out of Sweet Tea's hand to basically try to talk to the guy and figure something out. But Sweet Tea got mad. Of course, you get mad at the person that you're the closest with. And Sweet Tea got up, acted a fool, had a whole temper tantrum. Some of the ladies took her in the bathroom. It was a mess. That's when Dr. Heavenly, messy self, ended up saying that she met up with Sweet Tea, and Sweet Tea was saying she's unhappy, the man is controlling, she don't think they should get married, and all this kind of stuff in front of Sweet Tea's friends and family. She didn't care. And so then all of a sudden we get a text. Phaedra's texting somebody and was just like, yo, I'm outside. Child, is Quad. Quad ends up coming in. Now mind you, Quad has not met Sweet Tea, we don't think, at least on the show wise. And Quad just came on in, child, and it was a whole thing. Heavenly laughing. Letitia and Quad end up hugging each other, and it was seemingly nice, even if they were both faking it. Toya. Now y'all know Toya and Quad had friction issues from last season, but to be honest, Toya has been trying to get Quad off the show for years now because she feels like because she's not married to medicine, she shouldn't be on the show. And which I can understand that standpoint if Quad had not already been on the show. But Quad is a staple on the show. And so she's been on since the very beginning. And to be honest, Quad has always been more likable than Toya and always been more popular than Toya. If we're being honest, if we're looking at it from a standpoint, because Toya's been on the show since the beginning too. But I mean, overall, the fan base seems to like Quad more than Toya. Anyway, I say all that to say they've had issues last season. Quad accusing them of the burglary and all that kind of stuff, and the whole nine of her allegedly cheating on Eugene and the whole gag. Um, but yeah, so they've never really recovered from that. And so Toya was so nasty to Quad. When I tell you, she just kept, when everybody was getting along, the guys started back rubbing on everybody. Toya, stop this music. I'm trying to figure out why you sitting here talking to this girl. You told her you didn't want her nowhere around you. You don't want her nowhere near you. And Sweet Tea was like, well, this is my event. And Toya was like, no, it's my event. I'm throwing it for you. And I said, ooh, child. Toya was hateful and nasty to the point where she said that Quad needs to leave. Sweet Tea was pretty much forced to put Quad out. She might have secretly wanted to put Quad out anyway, but still, and like I said, I can understand Toya's feeling about it, but the way that she did it was just so nasty and rude to me. I was just like, I just wouldn't. Your issue is with Phaedra. Phaedra was the one that invited Quad and didn't tell nobody. But she don't really have any kind of gripes with Phaedra because she don't really know Phaedra, so it's not really, she can always look at it like, oh, well, I didn't know, Phaedra didn't know that our situation was that deep and blah, blah, blah. So Phaedra being new to the cast, she can always, ride that fence of, oh, I didn't know and I'm new and blah, 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 right? So, yeah, but I just did not like that exchange, and clearly Toya is going to get Letitia on her side to go against Quad, and it's going to be a whole thing. So the more of that is coming. But I was just like, Lord, that was a mess. And then after Toya put Quad out, she ended up leaving too. I'm like, well, what was the point, girl? You should have just left and let Quad stay there. Child. But at the end of the day, here's the thing. Letitia, you're coming on this show interacting with Quad's friends, people that Quad have been knowing for years. This show is a big part of who Quad's life. And at the end of the day, what are the other women supposed to do? Because they're being kind to you, they're befriending you, but they still really don't know you. At the end of the day, no matter how much they fight and argue, they know Quad. They have a relationship with Quad. These women have been knowing each other for 10 years at this point, some of them, or longer. So it's just like, I don't know exactly what kind of loyalty you are expecting from them, but the majority of them, regardless of what they say, are always going to be more friends with Quad than you. That's just what it is. And then your silly self talking about, oh, when Heavenly asked you what's the best thing about being engaged, and you going to say access to the money. Like, what are they supposed to think about you, girl? Like, what a tough situation that Sweet Tea is in. Because Dr. G is showing his cards already. And then you're on the show with these women. And I don't know if you are, but I wouldn't trust them if I was you. Not fully. Because everything you talk about, everything they discuss is going to be said back to Quad from one of them. So it's just, even Phaedra been knowing Quad for years. So, I don't know. It's kind of a losing battle at this point. But we're going to see what it is. I like Sweet Tea. I think she, a little young acting and throw temper tantrums. But that's fine. You're dealing with somebody that's your daddy age. So, of course, you're going to throw temper tantrums. And, you break off the half of the sandwich. And your sibling got more half than you got. So, of course, you're going to get mad, child. Because I wanted the peanut butter on my side of the sandwich. And we get it. But we're going to see what it gives, child. Married to Medicine is giving so far. I do miss Dr. Contessa. Oh, paging Dr. Contessa. I do miss Contessa. I do. I think Contessa would have just been neutral in this situation, just sitting back, chilling. Anyway, I'm Mr. Chalaki. Mr. Chalaki on Google+. Follow me at Eskins on Instagram and Twitter. At Eskins89 on Snapchat. Chase King on Facebook. Mr. Chalaki on Cash App, PayPal, and TikTok. And as always, run me my money. Run me my money or run me my fade. Run me my money the way I get paid. Stay black. Stay tuned. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.